And now for our conclusion speaker, a lady who really doesn't need much introduction because she lives and breathes and understands the issues we're facing here at Lake Tahoe. She's invested many of her own dollars and her husband's dollars into the lake. We appreciate that very much, but more importantly, we appreciate her commitment. Senator Dianne Feinstein.
I just want to express my thanks to everybody. I see these white shirts in the front row, and one of the few things I want to talk a little bit about today is fire and the impact that fire can have on this great lake. But you should be very thankful for the men in the white shirts in the front. They are the fire chiefs of Lake Tahoe. Let me ask them to stand. Come on, guys. Stand up. Take a bow. Including my own chief, John Peng from Meeks Bay. So thank you for being here, and thank you for what you do. I also want to introduce Randy Moore, who is the regional forester for the area. Randy, the Forest Service does a tremendous job out here. And the commander and division engineer of the Army Corps of Engineers. I do their budget. And every time the Army Corps of Engineers, there's a big problem in this country with flood or whatever, it's the Army Corps of Engineers. So I'd like to introduce Colonel David Turner. Where are you, Colonel? I think he's way in the back somewhere. There he is, right at the top. Thank you very much for being here today. I also would like to recognize the two people who head the natural resources agencies for Nevada and California, Leo Drozdoff and John Laird. Please stand and take a bow. We are grateful for your service. And as you see, California and Nevada sits together and solves problems together. Well, in 1997, it was the worst. And Lake Clarity actually dropped, I think, 22 feet the week after this. Thanks to Jeff Schladow's latest paper that's put out, since 97 we have gained 11 feet in Lake Clarity. And when we began our bills, I really didn't know what was going to work and what wasn't. And so we tried to combine a number of different things and be very prudent. And Lake Clarity is more or less a guide. It goes up, it goes down. But the trend line has to be that the clarity improves, because then we know the things we are doing have achieved a benefit. I also want to express to you that this partnership is multi-dimensional. It is not just the federal government. It is the federal government. It is each state putting in funds. We had $1.69 billion spent, it's an awful lot of money, in the last 10 years. And the important thing is to see if that $1.69 billion is working. The federal share was 554. The California share was 647. Thank you, Jerry. Thank you, John. The Nevada share was 110 million, plus 200 million from the Southern Nevada Public Lands Management Act. Local governments put in $73 million for this program. And the private sector, $312 million. So what that demonstrates is that everyone is working together to put funds in to what must be a very practical and doable program. I did this last year, and I'm going to do it again because it's important that you know where your tax dollars have gone. We have treated 54,444 acres of hazardous fuels, and I cannot tell you how important that is. Forest fire is something I know something about. And I travel the California side of the lake, and it needs a lot of help. The fire ladders are all over the place with non-native species, intensely flammable. The forest fire that's burning 30 miles over these hills to the west, the winds are westerly. We have a big fire, we have lightning strikes, and it starts big fires, it destroys property, it destroys trees, and everything goes into the lake. And decades of work is gone. We have added 15,800 acres for wildlife habitat. We've added 2,579 feet of public access of shoreline. We have created 136 miles of bike and pedestrian routes. And we have inspected, as was just said, and decontaminated thousands of watercraft. When we began this effort, there was no hazardous fuels mitigation. There was no interaction between the states and the federal government as there is today. So the risk of wildfire is tremendous. I remember my birthday a couple of years back. In Northern California that day, there were 2,200 lightning strikes that started 900 wildfires. That could be any day, any time, right here. So getting property owners to clear around their buildings is important. Getting hazardous fuels out of the area is important. And I think really paying attention to good fire-safe practices is important. I shudder to think of what that day will be like, but I also know one day it is coming. It has happened here before, and it can happen here again, and we must do everything we can to minimize it. Who knew that there was something called a quagga mussel, and it was at Lake Mead, and they reproduce 1 million eggs or 1 million quaggas a year. And I have a pipe in my office from Lake Mead. In 6 months, the pipe is entirely filled with quagga mussel shells. We have to keep the quagga out. Ms. Marchetti was talking about every boat that goes into this lake gets inspected. There's a reason. The Asian clam, the Tahoe Fund now is going to be doing 5.5 acres of laying rubber down in Emerald Bay because the Asian clam has drifted to that beautiful bay and we cannot lose it. So that's an important project, and I say to the Tahoe Fund, thank you very, very much. Well, Harry Reid, Barbara Boxer, myself, the other Nevada senator, we have put together a second bill now, which we are in the process of introducing. It's $415 million in federal dollars over 10 years. It continues the hazardous fuels reduction with $135 million. It's $113 million for stormwater management and watershed restoration. It's $80 million for projects to improve forest health, air and water quality, and fish and wildlife habitat. And it's $30 million to battle invasive species. This is up $10 million because we think it's really necessary. We cannot let these creatures get control of this lake. And the bill also invests $30 million in something called the Tahoe Basin Science Program. And this will allow us to direct funds to the most worthy projects that are effective in both monitoring and producing good environmental effects. With Harry Reid's support, I mean, he's the powerful majority leader of the United States Senate. We can be sure, right, Harry? Yes, that the bill will pass the Senate. We will need help in the House. The House is not known for doing constructive projects right now. And so we need your help to go out there and say, look, we've done this for 10 years, it's worked. Water clarity is showing us it's worked. We must continue. And this bill continues the work for all. So I hope, ladies and gentlemen, that this work will go on, that we will see Tahoe improve, and that we will save what is only one of two alpine clear lakes in the world. The other one, as the leader said, is in Russia, and the ambassador was just telling me that lake has enough clear water in it to be drinking water for 20% of the people of the world. So it's a huge clear lake, and we have the second huge clear lake, and we must keep it that way. So thank you. It's been a great 20 years, and now we have to keep going.
This video is part of the Tahoe Summit 2013 playlist. If you'd like to see all of the videos in your playlist, in the Tahoe Summit playlist, click on the moving video on your screen right now. If you're interested in seeing a video from a particular person, just wait till you hear their name and click on the picture of them. We had a lot of amazing people presenting at the Tahoe Summit. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid gave a wonderful speech at the Tahoe Summit. Al Gore gave a 30-minute keynote speech on the impact of climate change on Lake Tahoe that is truly excellent. You should definitely check it out. Also, Senator Dianne Feinstein gave a lovely speech at the Tahoe Summit, as did Governor Jerry Brown and Governor Brian Sandoval of Nevada. Also, there was a number of speeches from people from the TRPA, who you can click on right now. So please feel free to link or embed this playlist or any of these videos on your website or on your blog. If you like this video, please share it with all your friends on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. Thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Thank you, and keep Tahoe blue. Bye.